Good morning. This is Bobby Dupre with the Bobby Dupre Show, presented to you each Thursday morning at 7 a.m. And of course, no more KSLO on English.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. This change took place since the last week. We had been told by the general manager, Chuck Wood, that there would be this change. I didn't realize it was that soon. Had you?
We need to explain to people what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The KSLO has gone to Spanish language programming with the FM and the AM. A lot of it's pointed towards that Rapides area with their broadcast and this area as well.
This area. We've got three training centers here, which 90% of the back side workers are Spanish speaking.
Mm-hmm. And then
from Venezuela, some from Mexico,
mm-hmm.
some from other Spanish countries.
And same thing in the Forest Hill area, in the Rapides Parish, quite a bit there, and a lot of construction companies around here. So they've gone to a Spanish level programming, language programming. So the Bobby Dupre Show now is TV only, not simulcast, but TV and internet.
But they waited till I was ending my 36th year. I finished my 36th year. I had a pretty good run. It's been very good. I've met many of you on the radio, and many of you we're still listening to the Bobby Dupre Show, and hopefully somehow you can get to watching the Bobby Dupre Show, and some of you have maybe just a little simple television with no cable, no direct, no dish. Maybe could call and we could maybe help you.
Channel 22.
Channel 22.
Mm-hmm.
And all 50, y'all say? Or that's not all the time?
I'm not sure. Steve might better dig that up. We'll find out in a minute. We'll let y'all know. But we're on, to let everybody know, if you used to listen to us on the radio, on television we're on 7 a.m. on Thursday mornings, and we're on Sunday afternoons at 3 p.m. And if you go to kdcg.com, click on the Bobby Dupre Show, and you can watch us, the archive versions, anytime, download the pictures and all that. It's channel 52. That's what it is, on the digital frequency, channel 52 or 22.1.
And Mrs. Don Cormier Sr., she and Don called me. She called about the time of the program on Sunday, a bad time. And she says, is there any way for us to get back to Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m.? And we're going to work on that. We're going to work hard. We're going to twist Chuck and Matt and Chuck Wood, and we're going to twist Matt LeBlanc and Steve and Mark and the crew, and maybe need to talk to Beth, who handles the
traffic is what they call that, the programming.
She's the traffic programmer. 2 o'clock on Saturday would be the next best time, I think.
Before Mass,
and then before
people.
Mass and all of that. And then Mr. Don had asked me to look into the time between the races, between the racing that takes place between the 4 tracks. If they couldn't somehow shorten that time between. And we had a general membership meeting yesterday, and you'll see a picture after a while at Delta Downs. Mm-hmm. I took a picture just to prove to you that I was in attendance. I had ridden with Don Stemmons, who is a member of HBPA. That's serving on the HBPA board. Let me come back why he called me. And while we have something to do with it, the Racing Commission also has something to do with trying to work this out so that the tracks won't have as many days downtime. They'll have more racing for the trainers and particularly the owners to maybe get in a race or 2 more per year. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, it's kind of complicated. There's some of our members that are not for it, I'm told. The people that have talked to me have all been for trying to work something out. So Mr. Don and others that are listening that are trainers, horse owners, horse lovers, we are working at it. It's not an easy situation, but with enough time and patience, and you talking to other members and also Racing Commissioner members, Jerry, oh boy, he's the president of the Racing Commission from Lafayette. He's the president of Slimco Board. I know Jerry. I know Jerry too well. That's why I can't think of his last name. As soon as you get it on the computer, I'll say yes.
It'll come up. Jerry Moe?
Jerry Moe. Good morning, Jerry. Sorry about that. Anyhow, we are working on it, and we'll talk about other things. But we got to go to a couple of our sponsors
You're
here.
correct. Let's start with Piggly Wiggly, the three little pigs, man. It's the holidays. You know, you got to hurry up and get all that stuff to cook and not only cook, but send some stuff home with family members that are coming in for the holidays that want some good Louisiana products. Go buy your local Piggly Wiggly. Right now, they've got the spiral cut hams for $1.79 a pound, the Boston Buck for $1.19 a pound for the twin pack, big beautiful ones, and smoked hams $1.49 a pound. Go buy the Pig Knows Best at locations 2 in Opelousas, 1 in Simsport, and don't forget about their great wine selection. You know, I know Woodbridge wines, people like that. They carry those. Barefoot wines, which are real popular right now. Sutter Home
And beer of all
beer. That's
types
right.
also. Don't
Imported
forget that.
and local. They got all that as well. Go buy the pig. One
Good.
more sponsor. Let's
Yes.
hit LHC Group. All your home health care needs, LHC Group can help you with the nurses, the therapists. They can help you with all the equipment, the fancy bed that you might need for like a hospital bed type situation, the lift chairs. If you got some leg problems, you know, the chair, you press the button, it'll help you get up. They got the button you can press to call for help if you need to better call for an ambulance or a hospital or that type of thing as well. Locations throughout all of the United States with reciprocal agreements with all sorts of hospitals for extended care, health and wellness center here in Opelousas, hospice care, palliative care, Louisiana Health Care. All about helping people.
That's correct, and helping us and helping you out there. A little bit on sports. You might notice that I've...
Oh, you going to the football game this weekend?
That's correct. UL, of course, is playing East Carolina. And East Carolina, I read up just a little bit on them. It's a college with approximately 28,000 students. Pretty good size college, in fact.
Correct.
Not no little college. And their last home game, they had 45,000 in attendance. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they have, 7,500 to 10,000 come into the game?
I hope so. You know, you got New Orleans, so hopefully,
That's
even if it's not
a mystique.
Yeah, even if it's not the football that's your primary, you know, maybe the husband likes football and the wife likes to shop.
The only
come to
bad
New
thing
Orleans,
is
you
so
know?
close to Christmas. That is definitely, could be a little hindrance. But when you're a real football guru, or you think you're a guru, you're just a good fan
Right.
that follows the team, they might just be coming down. New Orleans, I remember when we were in the National Guard serving our 6 months over on the East Coast at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and there was a whole group of young Yankee boys that had never really been away from New York City, let's say, and they just couldn't get over the fact that we were from Louisiana, and myself and Ramp and Dick Sutter and Ryan Duplichamp, most of us had never really been. We had Mardi Gras here in Opelousas, and Mamu and Eunice didn't, I don't think, had the big one. But anyhow, we had it over here. It wasn't a big mystique to us, but their goal in their lifetime was to come to New Orleans to a Mardi Gras.
Right.
So we have something that the tourism in New Orleans is fantastic, and this year has been a big year.
And this weekend, don't forget, the bowl game is Saturday at 11
o'clock.
And here on KDCG, the DVD called It's Only the Beginning, that we talked a little bit about, that played last night, Wednesday night at 7 p.m. It's going to play again 7 o'clock in the morning on the bowl day. So Saturday morning, you can turn on your TV at 7 o'clock. It's going to show all last season, all the games, all the highlights.
And
gonna
it's
show
well done.
Very good interviews with the coaches. I mean, very enjoyable.
Players, some of the highlights of the plays.
And a lot of the boosters, T-Boy Hebert, our good friend.
Good morning, T-Boy,
all of them
from
cutting up and supporting the UL program, and Coach
Kenner,
Hudge.
Louisiana, New Orleans. neighbor.
You got
What else would you like to? Well,
How about the Darlin Toy
talking about
Go ahead.
football.
Go ahead.
The leading men. This was Sunday's Morning Advocate in the sports section, the front page. 40 years ago, Laura Hinton and Mike Williams became LSU's first black football players. And you know who called them and recruited them for LSU?
Who's that?
None other than our lovable governor, John McKithen. Would you please
kidding.
help me?
Would you please
and
help me? That's right.
I imagine he used that on those two guys. Would you please help
But can you imagine
LSU?
the governor calling to recruit players at that
recruit
time to
players.
say, look, the time is right. Integration had been involved with sports at LSU since the 50s, but not in the football program. The football program was that last wall that they couldn't crash through. So they finally did that. And
both of them are alive and were interviewed, and
they-
both have done well.
They talked about how
and
much
they
it meant
love
to them.
LSU today.
When Dalton Hilliard played, Dalton Hilliard talked to them both about what it meant to him to be able to come to LSU and them being in front. How about one other thing? Somebody called me, Miss Janice Duplantis over at our Crowley office, and they went to the football game this past weekend with the quintuplets, the 5 grandkids, I guess, that are 13 or 14 years old now. Went to the Saints game, and Harley, who's got cerebral palsy, was there, and he had come years ago to see one of Devery's camps over here. Devery Henderson that plays with the Saints, the wide receiver. And they stayed all the way to the very end of the game this past weekend. They were down near the bottom where they put the handicap wheelchairs. And Devery sent a football in his game gloves to Harley. Recognized him, never even talked to him.
You kidding
And
me.
he was just down there and sent it with an usher. And they turned around and he waved. He just had too much going on where he couldn't come visit. But he made sure to send a ball and some gloves to Harley.
we always
Devery's a good
bragging
guy,
on what type of representative he is
Oh, yeah.
for football and for Opelousas also.
What a great guy.
What a great guy. And talking about another great guy, Red Laurel. What about Red Laurel? He took a little bitty small one-room operation and has one of the largest
Health clubs?
health clubs in the United States. And we're talking about Red Laurel. Reds is how it goes by now. We were all at SLI attending college at the same time, Red and I, and we reminisced about that at a weigh-in for one of the professional fights about 2 years ago.
He's getting to be that Jack LaLanne age. He's still built.
Oh, he's in
ripped
perfect
up
condition.
and
Works out every
bodybuilder.
day.
Oh, yeah.
He began his business in 1963, so 2013 will be 50 years, and it's a huge, beautiful facility. It's sitting on, is it Ducey Road? Right in that
Back
area.
behind the movie theater near Zayas.
Yeah.
All
yep,
back there.
yep.
I don't know what the street's called.
Several businesses off the main drag. But anyhow, congratulations. And of course, he purchased for his daughter, as I understand it, the Borden's ice cream. And they have done the same thing there. They've made it into a real modern looking, but the same good, delicious types of ice cream are being served today that started more than 50 years ago, because I went there as a youngster and it had been open. So anyhow, Mr. Red Laurel, we love you. Keep up the good work.
Don't forget about the doll and toy fund. There's still time to send a few more toys out for Christmas time. You can contact Miss Janice Corville if you want to donate new unwrapped toys, or you want to donate cash donations. You can drop them off either at St. Landry Catholic Church or at Corville Toyota. You can call her at 789-0971. And we got to take a 1-minute break. TV and radio. TV, not radio. TV. We'll see you on the other side of 1 minute.